I know absolutely nothing about the Blue Beetles because, believe it or not, I'm relatively a noob to comic books in a general sense. So when I saw Blue Beetle Shell-Shocked, I thought, hey, I guess, why not? Written by Keith Giffen and John Rogers, the hot screenwriter of Transformers, and penciled by Cully Hamner, Cynthia Martin, and Duncan Rouleau, Blue Beetle Shell-Shocked collects Blue Beetle number 1 through 6, which is coming off of another crisis of the Infinite type and bringing all the heroes back 1 year later. Except that this Blue Beetle is a different one, and I wouldn't have known that. Alright, so yeah, the book is co-written by a screenwriter, specifically the screenwriter for Transformers, and didn't fill me with the best feelings. Dread was more prevalent than happiness, but for what it's worth, the writing isn't too bad. The plot is something we've seen before, with Jaime Reyes becoming the Blue Beetle, complete with confused teenager stereotype and all. I didn't particularly care, though. I mean, the stereotype made sense. I mean, what would you do if an alien artifact attached itself to your spine and created a sentient armor around you? But the dialogue, I mean, it's not terrible. It's just so contrived. I feel like that's where John Rogers came in, but hey, I could be wrong. The dialogue stays fairly contrived throughout the book, but very heavily in the beginning. Nevertheless, I didn't find the book's writing to be that terrible or really that hugely annoying, even with all its faults. I mean, the big reveal at the end of the book wasn't even a reveal. I mean, I knew it by looking at the cover of the book. Speaking of which, Blue Beetle's design is spectacular. The covers for this book are really good, and when Jaime is in costume, it just looks great. It has an almost DC animated universe feel to it, and the whole book really feels like that. But it doesn't always look great and succeed, regardless of the artist. But that's to be expected, and the overall art style in this book really does look cool. So, Blue Beetle Shell-Shocked isn't really a hugely compelling story. I mean, I guess I cared for Jaime the Blue Beetle, but really for no other reason than for the fact that I'm kinda supposed to. Dialogue is pretty cliched and contrived, and doesn't have a really compelling ending when you can tell that it's trying to be. The art style is neat and appreciated and looks awesome at times, but not all of the time. And now, despite all of this, I really did enjoy the book. I can't tell you if it's faithful to the previous Blue Beetles, but I can tell you I kind of felt in the same boat as Jaime in regards to the knowledge of the Blue Beetles. But again, I don't know anything about them. Anyways, I guess this is a good jumping off point for people looking to get into the Blue Beetle. If you just want an entertaining, if cliched story, check this one out. So now, if you excuse me, I'm going to revel in the awesomeness of this cover.